everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Tech.
I'm Kojak.
And I'm Wink.
Yes, indeed.
Again.
And again. And welcome to Critique.
Jar Jar Winks.
Jar Jar Winks.
I am trying to get him to change his Steam name too.
Call him that. Well, welcome to Critique the Critics, the show where we take a look at movie critics and movie reviews and responses to movies, and we make fun of them and critique them. And today we're talking about Groundhog Day. A little example of what people might say about Groundhog Day. This is from themoviereport.com. Groundhog Day is a marginal success, but it could have been a complete one if the people out behind the camera did as good a job as those in front of it.
Okay.
Which is just mean. That's really it's so funny because every time there's a quote like this or a statement like this from a critic, I just want to go, do you know how many people it takes to make a movie?
There's just so many people you just shat on.
You just shat on a lot of people.
Especially in a movie that's just kind of a comedy like this. It's kind of got an unremarkable look to it. It's like they did everything right.
It's a feel-good family comedy.
There's a lot of I was gonna call them sticks, but not everyone knows what that means. Just tripod moves and.
It's like, hey, we got Bill Murray being funny. Why don't we let him be funny?
But also it's being done in the style of comedies at the time.
Yeah.
You know, you have like Home Alone and things like that coming out around this time. I think Home Alone actually was 93 or 94.
Wow,
right?
This came out the same time as Home Alone.
Yeah, it's like
I think Home Alone was 93 or 94, something like that. It might even be a little before 93.
Did he just get out of watching like Jurassic Park or something like that, and then immediately watch Groundhog Day?
Right? I don't know, but it has the feel of most comedies from around this time, as far as the direction is concerned, and as far as the writing is concerned. And then they have people like him and Harold Ramis and people who are actually really good at improvising. So that there was a lot of takes and letting them do their thing.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. It's just so weird to insult that many people all at once.
That's the most mind-numbing thing an editor probably has to do is pick the best Bill Murray take.
Right.
Well, nowadays it's pick the best Ryan Reynolds take.
Yeah. It used to be Robin Williams, right? Man. Yeah. Good luck.
I mean, if anyone...
Or Eddie Murphy.
If anyone cut a Robin Williams feature, they're prepared for anything.
Oh, yeah. If you edited Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, I'm sure... You were like, I don't know which thing to use. Yeah. There's so much stuff.
Well, it's just like you felt sorry for the animators for Aladdin.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look at our critics review of this thing. This is actually from 1993. It's from Washington Post. Desson Howe is the name of the.
That name is familiar.
Yeah,
we have used him before.
I believe so.
I feel like I recognize that name for sure.
And we're just gonna read this through. This was uploaded in '99, right on here. You said?
So it was obviously like a print.
Yes, but it is actually from 93. So
Yes.
Here we go. Let's see it. You go to see Bill Murray, not the movie he's in. I can understand that.
Review over?
I guess. I can understand that, but I also don't agree with that because Bill Murray picks movies specifically that are good for him.
Yeah.
Name a Bill Murray movie that he shouldn't have been in. It's hard to. I can't think of a single movie that I didn't go because Bill Murray.
I suddenly just couldn't think of a single movie.
I could rattle off so many Bill Murray movies, and every single one of them it seems like he tailor picked it, and was like, I want to be in this. Mm-hmm. So I think that you're partially right, but at the same time, this guy picks movies that you want to see.
Yeah,
I mean, he was even in a. Before Fear and Loathing, or it might have been after. There's a movie called Where the Buffalo Roam, and it's a Hunter S. Thompson movie. It's basically Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and he's Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, no kidding.
He probably just wanted to be in it, and you see it because it's him as Hunter S. Thompson, and he probably just wanted to be in it.
Yeah,
makes sense to moi.
No matter how mediocre the film, time spent with him is always rewarding. Definitely true. That absurdist deadpan has served him since the Carter era, Saturday Night Live. And in his latest Groundhog Day, the shtick is still funny.
All right.
Not bad so far. Yeah. For a time, the movie's pretty good too. Well, and now we go downhill right here.
There we go.
Groundhog will never be designated a national film treasure by the Library of Congress because they only do like 4 a year. Like, also, most movies don't have the impact where it becomes a national film treasure.
Right.
That's such a stupid thing to pick. But in terms of vehicle selection, this is one of the better ones Murray has hitched himself to. In fact, its Twilight Zone type premise, scripted by Dan Rubin and director Harold Ramis, is initially intriguing.
Man, super intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is great. And initially when it starts happening...
By the way, in 2006, Groundhog Day was designated a national film treasure by the Library of Congress.
Was it really? No way.
Really? Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, Google. That is incredible. That is incredible. And I even kiboshed it like it wasn't going to happen, and it still happened. That's fantastic.
I was going to say, like, it is like one of those movies that, like, you remember.
Everyone,
like
yeah.
That's why I don't remember watching all of it. I don't remember all of it. But
that's why I picked this movie for us to do. I was like, who hasn't seen this? Even if you don't remember it that well, like, who hasn't seen this movie and like who doesn't think fondly about it? You know.
There's even a Reddit post, and today I learned that in 1993, a Washington Post reviewer said Groundhog's Day will never be designated a national film treasure by the Library of Congress. In 2006, the National Film Preservation Board selected that movie for preservation in the Library of Congress.
So amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow. That was not planned at all. And that was incredible.
And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see me staring at my crotch for about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Which he does.
Because that's where he keeps his phone. On his crotch.
Yes, I have one of those phones from Zoolander.
Exactly. Nice. Well, let's move to the next thing and see what they're going to say.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I wasn't paying attention to where we were at. I was clearly doing important things.
Yes.
A people-hating weatherman on a Pittsburgh TV station, Murray is waiting for his real ship to come in. For your information, a hairdo, he asserts to a well-coiffed colleague at WPBH, there's a news channel interested in me. Yes, and actually, something kind of interesting is there's a few movies. There's like a handful of movies where he plays the asshole that becomes not the asshole. Mm-hmm. Scrooge being one of them.
I want to see the other way around, where he becomes
the asshole. I mean, it's pretty interesting because you do not like him, and then you like him. He is good at that.
Yeah,
and it's impressive that you can like hate this dude and then you like him by the end of it. Until that questionable possibility, however, he must content himself with such hated aspects of his job as the annual trip on Groundhog Day. For this insane, to his mind, festival, he must join the reporting flocks of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, to catch the yearly appearance of the spring-determining rodent.
That's a way to write that.
That's accurate.
It's completely accurate, but the reason I laughed is because I pictured that being how they announced the groundhog at the festival. It would be like, bring out the spring determining rodent. Woo!
Yes.
Yes. We call it the SDR for short. If the divining Punxsutawney Phil sees his furry shadow, 6 more weeks of winter are due. If he doesn't, the thaw is on. Now back for his 4th Groundhog Day, Murray, with producer Andy McDowell and cameraman Chris Elliott, who I love Chris Elliott, waits impatiently for the day to end.
Whatever happened to Andy McDowell? Did she do anything?
Never acted again.
She's done other stuff, I'm sure.
Well, she's done lots of things, but I mean, in recent memory, I can't think of anything.
I can't either. I mean, it's either, my guess is she either stopped acting and had a family.
My tiny penis phone.
While you look at that, we'll move on to the next thing. And all right. But this time it doesn't. After a full day's work at the festival, Murray wakes up to exactly the same morning. Groundhog Day 2. The clock radio plays I Got You, Babe, like it did the morning before. An impending blizzard is announced once more. Stephen Tobolowsky, a horrifying nerd from Murray's high school past, now in insurance, recognize him again. Right? Even McDowell and Elliott are gearing up to film the festival as if for the first time. I still don't understand why we get these recaps of everything. Like you know what I mean? Like, why did they recap the whole the whole basic like thing of the movie in every review? I really don't understand.
Paid by the word.
I don't know. Yeah,
like, it's got to be, right? It's the only thing I can think of.
I know it used to be a thing.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff, by the way.
And
just not a lot of anything to write home about, really.
I generally don't write home. I also don't write home about
she was in Ready or
movies.
Not.
Oh yeah. She was recently in Ready or Not.
That's about
okay.
And I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen her in forever. Okay.
And you are right,
yeah.
by all things considered, because
Yeah,
none of us watched Magic Mike XXL.
No. but
Nope.
in
None
the
of us
90s,
watched that.
You probably saw a bunch of movies.
None
that
of
she was
us.
Jared watched it.
Jared watched it.
But yeah, there's a bunch of like one episode, like little bit part stuff and things like that.
Yeah, I do remember seeing Ready or Not and being like, man, that's Andie MacDowell. I haven't seen her in forever. And she's great in it. She's great in it. All right. Murray realizes he's stuck in time. No matter what he does, the next day is the same day, only he remembers. This allows him to anticipate trouble. Ned, I would love to stand here and talk with you, he tells Tobolowsky at their umpteenth chance meeting, but I'm not going to. That's
the one you picked.
That's the trouble he avoided. Weird. I feel like there's a myriad of other things he avoids.
Yeah,
that guy is annoying, but good lord,
he avoided aging.
True. That's trouble right there.
Yeah.
For some people.
Didn't someone figure out how long he actually was probably stuck in that loop?
I'm sure YouTube is weird. The time-space dilemma presents a variety of options, from fun to purgatorial. Murray is immortal in effect. He can survive death games. This turned into a very different movie.
Yeah, right? Suddenly this became
Death games.
Where's Katniss Everdeen?
Right? He could teach himself piano. He could find out basic information from attractive local Marita Garati, for instance, then wow her the next time around with apparent inside knowledge. But he becomes increasingly interested in MacDowell and spends most of the time working on her. That sounded weird. I don't like how you said that. Working on her sounds weird.
Yeah, it sounds a little
Oh, I have an anscer, by the way.
Okay.
From staring at my tiny penis.
For which thing?
For how long he was trapped.
Okay.
Ramis said he was trapped for 10 years.
Okay.
But it was originally going to have him trapped for 10,000 years.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's a long ass time.
Yeah. And then I guess when they actually ran the numbers, Phil was actually trapped for about 8 years, 8 months, and 16 days by the final edit.
Gotcha. 10,000 years would have put him in the future. That would have been weird. Like 10,000 years into the future, that would be.
Well, it wouldn't be. It would be the exact same day for 10,000 years, so it wouldn't be the future.
Yeah, I guess.
And
that's
he
true.
wouldn't have, and he doesn't age.
And he wouldn't have aged. Yeah,
because he killed himself and came back. So that kind of.
Yeah, that would have. Yeah, that would have been weird.
So it would have just been the same day for 10,000 years.
Ah, weird. I wonder how they would have explained that though, because he would have been like a genius.
Yeah, that's probably why they ended up at 10 years.
Yeah.
Or else he'd be like developing thermonuclear fusion in like a day.
All of a sudden it becomes Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court instead of Groundhog Day. And
yeah, exactly.
It's a completely different story. But he only has days to impress her. Back to MacDowell. He only has days to impress her. It's back to square one at 6 the next morning. Only has other days. Sorry, I said days. The trouble is, you'll feel like you've been through too many same days yourself. Really? Found it a bit repetitive? Huh? The movie where they repeat the same day over and over and over again?
See, the thing is, you feel like you've been through that same day.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah. See, well, especially when they keep playing I Got You, Babe, every time.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing this person's face every time. And similar scenarios happen every time.
Feels like real life, huh?
It would have been a lot easier to watch if they just didn't use this plot altogether and just went through one day once.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a really depressing thing about Groundhog's Day the other day. I was thinking about, man, if they did Groundhog's Day 2, what would they do now? And it's just like, and I just went dark with it. I was just like, what if it was just he got into this loop, but to get out of this loop, he actually has to accept his death because he's old now.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
It was like, man,
I prefer the death games personally. I gotta say.
I mean, that's probably that script would be something Bill Murray would probably do now.
This gets dumber, by the way. With its zany daily
than my idea.
Yeah, no, look, with its zany daily episodes, Groundhog gets stuck in a non-progressive repetition. Oh, really? Okay, that's the movie. It's also headed for the usual Hollywood life lesson in which Murray's moral winter must thaw. Which
is storytelling. That's not just Hollywood.
Yeah, it's literally like the main character's redemption. The redemption story is like one of the most common stories you can tell.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing to teach. That's the funniest thing is like, I can't believe Hollywood made people love each other. And you're like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good thing. I can't believe the moral lesson of this was to like take care of your fellow man again. Idiots. If the lesson was bad, like punch babies, I understand. You'd be like, Hollywood would punch babies again. Maybe they shouldn't.
Every movie can't be death to Smoochie.
Yeah, if we can't continue this punch baby moral thing that we keep doing, Hollywood. But it's a good moral. Keep it going. Who cares?
Yes, punch babies.
punch it sounds like a toy. Punch babies.
To punch babies.
But even through the most creatively frigid sections, Murray is amusing as he reacts to the longest day of his life. He gets to work on that recurring Tobolowski meeting. See, it's Ned Ryerson. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who plays Ned Ryerson. So I think he keeps naming the actor, which is frustrating for me because it's easier to say Ned Ryerson.
Oh, I think you're right. I think that is the name of the actor.
Yeah, for one thing. The best way to send the insurance agent screaming into the distance, Murray finds, is to embrace him for a suggestively long moment, caress his back, and say, I don't know where you're needed, but couldn't you call in sick? You ended this like that?
Man, this whole thing is confusing. It's like, I like Bill Murray, but they kept repeating stuff, and I don't know, they shot it wrong, and...
Here's some potentially homosexual themed thing.
Also,
goodbye.
It doesn't. Yeah, there's no like ending there. It's. Do you think they did it on purpose so that you have to keep rereading it?
Probably not.
Did you just Groundhog Day us, Desson? Did you? Who's the Smarty Pants? Who's the Mr. Smarty Pants? You go to see Bill Murray, not the movie he's in.
I feel like I've been here before. I got you, babe.
And now's the part of the show where we read facts about Groundhog Day, but they're all fake. These are fake facts.
Originally, the film was called President's Day and was the story of a man who relived the same day over and over, watching a game, eating too many grilled meats, and getting drunk until he finally understood why he had the day off and the true meaning of President's Day. It was to be a 14-hour film.
In an interview with Variety, Harold Ramis said, quote, of all the films I've directed, Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Vacation, and Groundhog Day, to name a few, none have made me more proud of my craft than the Saturday Night Live movie, Stewart Saves His Family.
Bill Murray took 14 months of ice sculpting lessons to prepare for this movie.
This has been Fake Facts about Groundhog Day. All right, let's read some audience reviews. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll start it out. Why not? All right. A Tale of Two Movies. The first half is very funny, and the last 40 minutes sucks arse. Those of you who can't see this, it sucks spelt with 4 X's. Yes. So you know that they mean it, or they're naming an energy drink.
By the makers of Bang. Sucks arse.
Yeah. Actually, it'd be like an energy food that you eat with a bang, so you can have a sucks and bang.
Oh. You want to read this one?
Nothing but a cult movie.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It is. It'll never be in the Library of Congress.
Also, that would imply that it didn't have success when it came out. And it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just a cult movie if it has success when it comes out. That's
like widespread success.
Also, Would you say Groundhog Day has a cult following?
I don't know.
When you think cult movies,
No.
you think Rocky Horror Picture Show, right?
Yeah,
You
of
think Big
course.
Lebowski,
Yeah.
and you think Groundhog Day.
I was going to pick like some Quentin Tarantino joint or something.
or like almost anything else.
Yeah.
I agree that people like it, but they're not making festivals after Groundhog Day. There already is a Groundhog Day festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's no conventions that I can see.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single.
You haven't ever gone to see it with the audience interaction where they all sing "I Got You, Babe" or
over and
something?
over and over again.
I don't know.
All right.
I would go to that convention, but it's the same every year.
That would be really funny.
That would be really
to do
funny.
a Groundhog scene thing where it literally is the same.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next run from Vitamin D? Vadim D.
Vitamin D. It's VADIM, but vitamin D, I think, is better.
Yes.
Perhaps it's dated, but I just don't think this movie is that funny.
I mean, fine, but I mean, I don't know. I guess having the understanding that maybe it's a dated thing, but I do truly believe that like comedy can't like when things are just kind of funny. They're funny.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe that, and I don't think it could be so dated unless it's making like specific references to specific things that aren't like universal anymore.
Right.
But
Well-
this is expressing like comedy about love and relationships and things, and those are universal. Those don't change.
And essential supplements don't actually really know comedy. They just help develop the funny bone.
Exactly.
This is true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well played. But yeah, I don't think that
Pause for myself.
yeah, I don't think that works though.
No.
Like, because it would have to be hyper specific. It would have to be something like, because even movies that you see now that have a fucking rotary phone, they're still funny because the joke isn't the rotary phone.
Right.
If the whole movie, the joke was like this thing we don't have anymore, and a kid's like, I don't even know what that is. Like, then yeah, obviously it's not funny.
Yeah, show a kid the brave little toaster nowadays.
Right? That's just terrifying. Also, who toasts toast and toasters these days?
Me.
Yup, that is true. That's the quote.
What happened to Paul M?
I don't know. That's
You went a little Paul mad.
yeah.
He did
That
indeed.
was bad. But don't laugh for that one.
Yeah.
I don't need your pity laugh.
How it's rated 5 stars, but somehow I sense a lot of sarcasm in those ha's.
Well, it's because he laughs sarcastically.
Oh.
I look, I don't understand.
If he laughs.
I don't understand. I don't understand like why that would be your review of anything.
I don't know.
Like, why would you like you're taking your go-to is just all caps HA as many times as you can to fill a line?
Yeah, it's the internet. It's JA.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's the next one?
Is that me?
I think so.
A bit saccharine sweet for my taste. Didn't pass the 5 laugh rule either.
What's the 5?
Apparently, the 5 laugh rule
Is this a thing?
Yes. So
Okay.
I looked it up. There's this group of people who came up with this rule that you should laugh 5 times in the movie in order to be able to call it a comedy. It ended up being the 6 laugh rule, I think, at some point.
Gotcha.
Because one movie came out where there was like 8 laughs or something like that in the first 10 minutes or something. But
And then it was
it's
not funny.
But they're basically saying that if you don't laugh and 5 times in the movie, you can't call it a comedy.
Is there an amount of laugh that has to happen, or can a slight exhale from the nose count?
I don't know. Like that's a perfectly fair question. I mean, another fair question I think is who decides that?
Yeah, that's
Because
not
if
fair.
I laugh 10 times and you laugh 2 times, it didn't pass your test. It passed my test. So do you go, hey,
But
do you
collectively,
do you go, hey, do you want to see that drama?
yeah.
Right,
And I go,
Collectively,
no, but I'd rather watch this
Yeah.
comedy.
But collectively, that's an average of 6 laughs, so it passed.
I don't know if it's an average though.
I don't either.
I have a problem where, like, you guys know I laugh hard when I laugh, but also I find things very funny and don't laugh out loud often.
I am the same way.
Yeah.
Like, where I would truly tell you I found it hilarious, but I didn't laugh.
There's also a tendency for people to laugh more when they're together.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in a group or you're watching a movie in a crowded theater.
Without
You ever go to
doubt.
see like the newest comedy by yourself in a movie theater?
Yeah, it just doesn't have the
It
quite
just-
the same oomph.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And so
Imagine a butt right there.
I really laughed hard during the Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah. Also, yeah, for
Kidding,
sure.
I bawled my eyes out
Yeah.
when Spider-Man died.
You know,
Spoilers!
you know,
It's long enough.
to me, the weirdest thing about that 5 laugh test, though, is actually that like a director and a writer and a whole cast and crew of people could be like, we made this comedy, and then someone can go, well, I only laughed twice, so you did not make a comedy. I'm like, no, but we did. And they're like, nope.
That was the best
Didn't-
Karen in person.
Yeah, you did not pass
that
the
was
test.
absolutely
So
Karen.
no, you did not. You didn't make a comedy. You made a drama that had 2 comedic elements in it that might have been even been on accident because you suck at making comedies.
What I actually hear is, I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to talk to the director about this because I feel like they didn't fulfill this because they are 3 laughs short.
I need double my money back.
Double, yeah, exactly. Why double? Because of the pain and suffering. Yeah, you're suffering? Yes, my feet hurt.
Why were you standing?
Why were you
watching the
standing
movie?
during the movie? I wasn't. I have diabetes.
All right. This wormhole is deep.
This went to a place.
Yeah. All right, but a bit repetitive with no story.
That's the best comment about this movie
Ever.
ever. The first part makes you believe that this person saw it. The second part makes you believe they didn't see it.
Yep. Also, they definitely didn't see a trailer. They didn't see, their friend didn't tell them anything about it. They just went. They're like, oh, nice movie about a holiday we kind of celebrate.
It's about time my favorite holiday got a movie.
Groundhog Day really
How many
doesn't
people
get
in this
enough
world-
recognition.
Does it?
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
How many people in this world do you think Groundhog's Day is their favorite holiday?
I don't know.
Everyone's all Christmas, 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 Christmas this, Christmas that.
And I'm like, 6 more weeks of winter.
I don't know. When I was in 4th grade and like Christmas seemed so far away, maybe Groundhog Day would have been like my
I
favorite.
guess it would be nice.
Be like,
I mean,
oh,
I know
holy
that
crap.
one town celebrates it a lot, but
Right.
that's because it's where it happens.
Yeah, but do you think everybody like goes out all jolly, like, fucking.
Another damn.
But there's no way that they saw a trailer for this either, because the trailer would have been like, what would happen if you repeated the same day over and over and over again?
I don't know. That seems repetitive.
Yeah,
I
that's-
might not see this movie.
Yeah, I have a feeling I might, rate this 2.5 stars and call it a bit repetitive if I see it. So
I hope that
painful.
it's not very repetitive and has a lot of story.
this person would have had the same review if this movie was called Over and Over Again. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. That is our show. Critique the Critics, of course, the podcast. If you are listening, make sure you subscribe so that you can check out our podcast twice a week. And also, if you are watching on YouTube, because we put this there as well, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and we love hearing from you. So until we see you next time, geek out and game on.
Bye.